Hey everybody, it's a Sunday afternoon, pretty nice day, pretty windy. I think it's beyond breezy, but still fairly nice day. I think that cool front's still moving through, and humidity's down. It's not too bad in the maybe in the lower 80s, and I think they're saying we're going to have another one of those poor man's polar vortexes coming through, and gonna have some cool days here in the near future. But actually I'm sitting right here between the tee and the hole, but this table was already here in the park of the Frisbee golf course. But anyway, I'm gonna do one I haven't had. This is their collaboration with Russian River. I don't know if it's Yvan or Yvan the Great, Y-V-A-N. That's not a misprint. That's Y-V-A-N. I'm going to say Yvan to keep it different. It's a little bit from the website. I'm not going to go through the whole Russian River thing, but it's this genre-bending beer has a bright resinous hop profile of an American IPA blended with the dry and complex yeast character of a Belgian farmhouse ale. Yvan the Great is a perfect combination of the two brewing styles: hoppy, dry, spicy, and impressive. I'll post all the other stuff, but I'm not going to read it. Comes in at 6.3% ABV, 50 IBU. So, like I said, I have not had this one. Did have a couple more I think 3 last night. 2 of them weren't too bad. I'll probably, when I get to my second 12-pack, probably throw those up for review because they were pretty decent. So, yeah, especially that Rybach, the collab with Oscar Blues, and like I said, in the can. God, looks like I'm pouring a lager here. Good grief! That is one of the yellowest beers I've seen in a long time. Ton of carbonation streaming up, and a nice yellow beer. I'll say it looks like a lager. Got a finger of a head, like a white. Oh, that's a white head. So yeah, it looks like it's not going to stick around for a while. So let's get a nose on it. Okay, yeah, you're getting those bready, slightly musty Belgian yeast notes. It reminds me of a Saison. It smells like a Saison. I guess they did use Saison yeast in it. Some hints of lemongrass yesterday, but that spicy Belgian yeast really dominates. And there's some fruitiness. There's some light grassy notes and ripe pear. Little candy sugar maybe up front there. Maybe a touch of lavender and a little bit of that barnyard funk. But this is primarily not getting much of the IPA notes they said it had, the hop notes they said it had. This primarily, at least on the aroma, is pretty yeast forward, and it's those Belgian Saison yeast notes, that's for sure. So, like I said, I've had a few of those Belgian IPAs that didn't work out too well, and this sounds like it's another version of that. But let's give it a taste and see what we've got. Okay, it starts out right at the first, fairly dry, but by the time it hits the middle of the tongue, you're getting that light, sweet maltiness. It's sort of balanced by the Belgian yeast notes at the same time. Just a slight, you can get a slight bitterness from the hops, but it's those grassy, lemongrass type notes. Like on the aroma, it's primarily a yeast forward beer, that's for sure. But there's, like I said, just a light bitterness from the hops, and that's pretty much all you're getting from the hops, but it all just sort of aftertaste just sort of fades away there. You get the hops and the yeast and everything right, particularly on the back of the tongue, and there is a slight light lingering note there that fades away fairly quickly. Yeah, it's a saison with some light hoppiness, but light hoppy bitterness, but no definite. Yeah, it says American IPA. No, it's more like pale ale notes than IPA notes, but it's still not too bad. So let me sit. I will sit and sip on this a while, and I'll come back in a while with the final thoughts and grade. Okay, I'm back. It's only been 15 minutes or so. I was sipping on this. I forgot to mention the mouthfeel on this, so it's a little crisp. It's got medium to medium light carbonation, medium light body, almost light bodied. It's not watery, but the crispness isn't there that I really prefer in the style, at least of a saison. Although on the label they say a Belgian style blonde, but I think with the yeast and the profile and everything, it's more of a saison than a blonde ale. But overall, it's probably one of the better beers I've had out of the 12-pack so far. I've had some fairly mid beers and some fairly decent beers. Nothing outstanding yet. None to blow my socks off. It's a bit lacking in carbonation, but it smells and tastes really nice. Definitely better at least than the other beers I've tried, which for the most part are just fairly average beers. This is better than average. It's a decent take on the style. I think if they called it a saison rather than a blonde ale, they'd have been closer. But what hops there are well integrated with the yeast, but it's still a yeast, Belgian yeast forward beer. Yeah, I'd recommend trying this one. I don't know if they'll ever come out with it as a year-round beer, but if you got to pick, you know, from the 12-pack, it's one of the better ones so far. So I'm going to give and I'll call it Yvan the Great, their collaboration with Russian River. I'm going to give it a good 8.5 out of 10. Decent, drinkable beer. One of the perfect beer for the weather we're having right now. Warm and humid, but just a really nice beer. But I think it's more, like I said, I think it's more of a saison than a blonde ale. So till next time, everybody, cheers. Let's keep drinking good beers.